We really don't know who sent a bunch of pictures to him.
A little bit slower.
Yeah, I wanted to read the whole plagiarism.
Okay. Again, the theory being, we just present the idea. If someone's interested, come over and ask. But I will do whatever
That's
you guys want.
That was either slower or make the pictures a little bit longer on the screen. That's my thought.
I got your.
Hi, bye, Sunday. See, a couple of those pictures just kind of.
Yep, they do. Yep. I will go with whatever you desire, but yeah, the intent was to snap some of them by just.
Ah, Darth Vader.
Well, you see, he gets a stormtrooper.
I just sent a bunch of pictures. I didn't tell him which ones to use. I know Marcus ended up sending some pictures too, didn't he?
He did. A few, just.
Oh look, it's a Commodore 64.
Oh, wow. Where'd that come from? What was that? Whoa.
Somebody's getting all professional.
That's the only picture.
Who's that making high heel shoes? I'm just saying.
That was something you found on the internet, right?
Oh, that's cool. Lights, colored lights. I always
Cupcakes.
get them every time.
I think that cupcakes was false advertising.
Yeah, and that's about 3.5 minutes. I figured that that'd be a loop.
Yeah.
And it's just on a loop.
Yeah. Cool. Good job, Mike.
Yeah,
Like I
very
said.
good.
Very
What
nice.
format is the video?
MP4.
Is,
Actually, our projector should be able to just play that.
Just put that on like an SD card.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or a USB or anything.
and I forget what the size of that file is.
Small. It's like 34 megs or something.
Like you said, it shouldn't be
It's tiny.
3 megs. 3 minutes is.
Well, I understand that there are quote unquote artistic differences, and if everybody were to have done it, they would have done it a little bit differently.
No, here's the difference. You did it. I wouldn't have.
The file size is 42 megs.
Okay.
So it's
No problem.
yeah.
So if we have more input, and I see that I can replace, for example, a virtual reality with a photograph that represents something that we have actually done, as opposed to an example, or a real picture of a device rather than what we're seeing here, I'll go ahead and do a replacement. But if we find that there are things that the club has been involved with that I didn't represent in any of the photographs, then it may become a little longer just by including those. If this is an acceptable format and without a whole lot of differences, pretty much the end of what you're interested in, then I can continue to make it modifications and additions all the way up to the day of presentation.
I mean, I know I've got a lot of stuff in there, but I think that that's a good kind of round. I mean, there's robots in there, there's IoT stuff in there, there's radio stuff in there.
I tried to be representative, and if we had additional photographs, I would like to have included those, but I didn't get them.
So what software do you make this in?
Movie maker.
Good job.
Thank you.
I like it.
Yeah, it gives a location, a time, sampling, so.
And if I didn't beat the piss out of Westchester 5 to 7 Automation Technology Club, then I didn't succeed in my goal.
More.
So that's what the 5 and 7 were for.
Yeah.
You didn't catch that?
Put the 5 to 7, the 527 over the 5-7. You got one that says 527,
Yes.
and the one that just says 5 and 7. That
5
may
sevens.
Yeah.
confuse somebody.
Yes, but it was just a different way of presenting the same information, and I would like to leave it there simply because it's a different way as opposed to seeing 5 to 7, 5 to 7, 5 to 7.
Okay, can you make it about 10 milliseconds? And
Yes.
get them
Subliminal.
Yes.
And
Subliminal.
that's
Subliminal.
what most of the comments have been is it's too short. You're showing the picture for too short a period of time.
I see what you're saying though. You gotta get the whole thing in a short cycle, or we'll lose them.
Yeah. And none of this stuff is anything that a person can study and do anything with. It's just, in my opinion, it's just representation of the type of activity.
Well, I mean that sort of brings me to some of these, because like I thought that you've got a picture of this, but I thought that would be a good thing to have actually sitting on the table anyway.
As a physical object.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that I really dwelled on for any length of time was the one that says the International Space Station is so many miles away and it's approaching.
Yes.
And it's coming fast. I thought that was kind of a neat little saying that you needed to read. I can't do anything with it, but it was kind of neat to read.
Yes, but that's also right here. So, because I thought
Hard to
that,
see though.
but I thought that would be a good thing to have sitting on the table as well.
Yes, I
Last
agree
year or
with you.
something, I had like 5 or 6 robots set up.
Yeah. Well, we don't need to worry about robots. I got
No,
plenty of
I'm just
them.
saying, set out whatever you want to set out. But I just I know there was somebody had a booth and they had them set out where kids they had like joystick control or something for an arm and picking up blocks.
So
There's a bunch of different groups there.
So,
But overall, if I could go back to the presentation for a second, are there any glaring voids that should be filled in?
Let me.
you want to see it again?
No. I want to find the link to all the stuff. Because there's a bunch of pictures in the. Well, it'd probably best if you show it. Show them the link to go to the meeting and then. Well, let's see.
Everybody data dump their Google Plus stuff.
Yes.
No, it gets nuked Monday. So
I think I have one spreadsheet.
Start a local spreadsheet, your
All of my Google
spreadsheet.
stuff.
You're controlling that screen.
I know, but I'll blow it up if I tried to do anything big, like open up another. Have you got a screen? I can go to it, but it's like this is where I want to go. Let's see if it blows up. See, this is the list of everything we've done for the past couple of years. There's the, got some good stuff in here. Yeah, steak and shake.
And steak and shake.
And that's on the link.
And I think that's included.
Okay, you put that, oh, did you go through that? Okay, cool, you do good work.
Well, I tried to. I'm not always successful. Leroy sent me a lot of photographs. I was not able to open the document you sent me and download any of the files. I was locked out of those.
You can't right click on those and save the pictures.
Yeah, you'd have to print screen and cut and paste, but yeah.
And I don't know what kind of degradation I get when I start doing that as opposed to the original. I know on some of them I do.
You can expand it to the full screen and then do a cut and paste. You know how to cut and paste to print screen?
I've learned how to do that.
Yeah, you're up there. You're up there with me.
Technically speaking, all these images are in your cache, and you can go through and find them, but there are thousands and thousands of other pictures.
It would be just as easy for him to say, I want this picture, email it to me, because I've got all these pictures somewhere. Or I've got a lot of these pictures somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, there's a submarine. There's a wheel.
Yeah. I have gotten photographs from Leroy and from Marcus. But I don't anybody else who wants to dump it.
I don't really want to put any more of my pictures in there because it's pretty loaded with a lot of my junk.
The photographs that you sent I thought were representative. I don't want to load any more pictures of you. You be assured of that, but that's
We
not
can't
gonna
blame you
happen.
for that.
And I had to pick and choose because some of them look like great photographs, but
Once they're there, they don't work so well. Yeah.
they don't work so well.
Yeah.
But I'll take them either as an attachment to my an email to me, or we can dump them to the Dropbox.
How about that one?
That one is one of the few pictures I can't find anymore. I've looked all over the place, but believe it or
it's-
not,
You
it's
could
in
always
there.
take a new one.
It's in there.
I can't take a new one anymore. It no longer works.
Oh,
All
okay.
the APIs have changed. That particular demo doesn't work anymore.
It's in our file.
Yeah, but I can't save it.
You can do a print screen and copy it out. I mean, my God, are you crippled? I can do it. Okay.
I am crippled.
If I can do it, anybody can do it. You just control
That's
plus.
that's
to
actually
get it
one of the
full
very
screen.
few pictures I can't find anymore. I have no idea what happened to that picture, where that picture ended up. Because that was the ISS picture I was looking for 2 days.
Okay, I'll do it. I'll get it. Let me show you how to do that.
Send him a Google link.
But, I could do it, Jim. Just being,
Being obnoxious?
I am being
That's
obnoxious.
different. Gosh, when did you start that? Okay.
But that particular demo doesn't work anymore anyway. I loaded it up on that device, and all of a sudden, it kept coming up with errors, and I was like, oh crap. So I looked, and everything changed about it.
We don't care if it works or not. We just want to hook
I'm
them.
not sure that NASA is providing that information anymore.
Probably not. Or it's encrypted.
Yeah.
And after yesterday's India shoot down, they probably don't want anything on track.
I
Okay,
think the
I
ISS
selected
can still
it.
be tracked. It was the map that was giving me the problem.
Okay, now, when I bring that up, the selection is not live. I can't do what you just did.
You can't select it.
Well, that's because he's the actual owner of that document.
They should be able to read it though. Look at it.
Yeah, but I can't select it. Just what you have done, I cannot do.
That's
Yeah.
weird.
It's because you're the owner of that document.
But he has read access.
Yeah, but I can't either, and I've got both. I've got read and write access, and I can't.
What's the matter with you guys? Please, if you can read it, okay. So I had to do print screen, huh? Here you do control boing, and there it is. Copy to clipboard. I really don't want to. I'll pop out and use the Windows Edit.
And there is a function that I have that I use on Windows 7 where I can do flip on the screen.
Oh, okay.
Snip it.
Yeah,
Cool.
just flip
Yeah.
it and save it. But again, I can't get to just one item and select it and save the image as.
Oh, okay, you can't go to that single page.
What I get is pretty much what you're seeing on the screen, which is worthless for a screen capture.
Oh, look, this one's got that, so you can't do that. That's interesting.
That's because you're the creator of that document.
But you can read it. I don't know. It's so
Doesn't.
weird.
Yeah, it doesn't recognize it as a photo again.
Most
It's-
of the
yeah,
photos that are in that, Leroy sent me as separate individual JPEGs. So I think I've gotten most of the ones that are in that group, but I didn't get them that way. I got them from what Leroy sent me.
Okay.
Yes, and you know, I looked for my ISS pictures. Cause that
But
would have been.
you have write access to that.
I know, and I still can't do it. Yeah, I know.
Have you got a Chromebook? You got a Chromebook too.
I did not try it on the Chromebook.
Yeah.
But I tried to. I mean, I use Chrome. Should be the same thing.
But I don't know whether you guys want to include in the meeting minutes access to the Dropbox and password. I see no reason why we shouldn't. The only thing that's up there is this, and I don't see anybody maliciously using it or doing anything with it. I have all the data backed up on my machine.
You want the Dropbox in the meeting announcement?
I have no objection to
I
that.
can guarantee you do not want to post that on a public.
Yeah,
It
you
will
probably
get
don't
web
want to
scraped
post
by the end of the
that
day,
on a
and
public
you will
forum.
not like the results.
I don't care whether we have to scrap it.
How about we just put it in the meeting announcement?
It's whatever you want to do that's easiest if you think it's appropriate. I don't have a problem. I don't have anything else on that Dropbox.
You have a copy of it somewhere else, right?
I have downloaded everything that I found of interest in there, and I have it on my machine.
Okay. So you got the address, Leroy?
I can get it.
Okay, if you can put it in the meeting announcement then.
Yes, I can do that.
I'm loath to ever recommend Windows software, but there's a program called Screenshot. It's much better than Clipping Tool. It has a pretty simple editor in there as well. I wouldn't look into it. It's free.
What's wrong with Snippet?
I like Snippet.
They replaced Screenshot with Windows 10, by the way. I had Screenshot. And you do a Windows function and print screen.
Well, you can map those. You can make print screen do capture a window, capture the whole screen, or capture an area. So yeah, you can remap all of those buttons.
And you can do all print screen, or there are some other keystrokes too that do different functions. The new one did a pretty good job of replacing screen print. I used to use Screenshot. Used to use it. It was good.
Screenshot.
Screenshot.
No, green. G-R-E.
Green. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe that was it. It sounds familiar.
So Snipping Tool doesn't let you add text to the image, does it?
I believe it has a highlighting function and
It's
some other
got a
stuff. but I've
highlighting
never
tool
used
and
it.
all kinds
Yeah,
of
I think it's just a real simple editor. You can put
Yeah.
text on it. so.
Okay.
Pick what color.
Yeah.
The guy with the bread on the breadboard kneading it with the circle and the line through it, that was a simple snippet.
Great connectors.
Yeah. They're good at buying somebody else's tools.
Yeah.
They're
Pretty
cloning
good,
it.
well,
They don't
or
buy
stealing
it. Yeah, I was gonna
So
say.
maybe borrow it.
Yeah, that's their terminology, borrowing technology.
Creatively
Sharing.
appropriating or misappropriating.
I
I
always
wonder
thought
if you could download the file. You should be able to download the file. I don't know. That's true too.
there was somebody
Do
that
a, yeah.
made a tool for NT that would export something out of NT you to re-import to the next version. And it was like, why didn't Microsoft build a migration tool for their own product? But then they couldn't because this third-party company did it.
I don't know, and then they did, and then they stopped.
What did they say?
Yes.
Microsoft, or they sued Microsoft, so then Microsoft yanked theirs. So stupid.
We got this great product. We're going to take everything out, clean it off of the internet. No one will use anything but our product, and now we're not going to support it.
Yeah, don't you love that one? Also, I was just telling, so like a couple weeks ago they announced that they were, I don't know if I said here or not, but they're rolling out a plugin in Windows 10 that if you use Chrome or Firefox and go to a bad site, it's going to refer you to Microsoft's Edge active defense something or other protection, you know, and the people in my security group are of course like, oh, they can't do that. It's like, who in the world would ever install that plugin? I said, I don't think you're going to get a choice. Windows 10 is going to give you that plugin.
Yeah.
You know, and yesterday I got a photo plugin on my Windows 10, so that Microsoft has access to all the photos on my computer, I guess.
That's nice of them.
You know,
They need access to all that stuff.
You know, well, yeah, because if they can sell my pictures for a nominal fee.
Well, this is an aside, and I should have done it earlier, has nothing to do with this. Someone used my routing number and checking account number to make a payment to a Lowe's card that wasn't mine out of my checking without going through the Chase site.
That's neat. Hack the Swift.
Yeah, so they didn't use my login, they didn't use my account information or anything that I had for me doing Chase banking. But somehow or another they got $507 out of my checking to pay someone else's Lowe's bill.
You have an account with Lowe's?
I do, and I checked. It wasn't my account nor any of the old ones, and they couldn't tell me whose account it was. And Chase couldn't trace down what account the money was going to go into. They shut it down and gave me the money back, but I had to shut down that checking account and start a new one. But I don't know, and neither do the Chase security folks know how it had been done to get that money out of my account.
Well, nothing necessarily had to be done. It could have been a good guess.
It could have been. I just don't like the idea of being the result of a guessee.
You're the owner, so you're gonna have to log into your account. And
I thought you could get into it.
well, I can apparently add people to the share, but I can't modify the share.
Oh, well, tell me what needs to be done.
So it looks to me like you need to actually just create a link and then email me the link.
Okay.
I don't have the
Can't do that, but you can get into your Lowe's account.
I don't have the ability to modify anything other than add stuff to the
$125
drive.
out of every paycheck. That's my
Apparently.
that's what I found.
Okay.
And it
And
looks like if I know other
I need
people's
that
email
back.
address, I can
Routing and account number,
maybe
but I didn't
yeah
have to call my bank and say
anyone
this
with
is
a
gonna
link
be
can
happening.
view it.
It was just something.
Okay. If we click on one,
Told them to take out this much, this is the routing number, this is the account number, and it started disappearing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't, there aren't any real safeguards, if you just try
Yeah, I
numbers.
guess it's like just having a check,
Who can access
Mhm.
it?
you know,
Well,
a big
if
check
you-
or something.
Yeah, if you've got the accounting information, you can rebuild
Well,
it.
we'll try that, but
Artificial
I
check.
think
Yeah,
Do a digital check nowadays through this on the system. If you've got
Yeah,
access
because you don't even have to
POS.
deposit, you can.
it looks
put it
like
in with your
anybody
phone
can
and, yeah.
view it.
yeah, I am amazed that banks are okay
And I
with
think
that.
viewing just
That's-
means look at, not modifying.
It's pretty bizarre.
Can we get
Well,
into
you
that?
know, they're hacking the
Yeah.
Swift, which is the,
Well,
systems
I think
for
I think you're
interbank
going to
wire
modify it
transfers.
from your house.
Mhm.
You know, I mean,
Okay,
banks have
'cause,
been taken for billions of
when I
dollars,
type
but they
in
don't publicize it.
Dropbox,
There was,
it comes
somebody
out.
tried to do
And
$1
I
trillion
don't- at this
worth of
point,
wire
I'm not even
transfers in
having
Abu
any
Dhabi a while back.
forward. Right. Okay, so
and they
I don't
misspelled
know how to get into it
one of
to
the
give
company
you
names and
any
it stopped it
access,
at 85
because I'm
million.
not certain how I like it.
So you go to
But if they hadn't
Dropbox.com
misspelled the name, they'd have
Yes.
walked off
and
with
you
$1
go
trillion.
to files over here,
Okay.
Hmm. I know
and
we get lots of. we have a
automation
title
should
company
show up
that's
in
part
that
of
in
the
that file
law
because
firm,
you created it.
and they are constantly
And then I
getting
clicked on share.
messages from
And we're
purchasers.
getting
of-
Well,
here.
no,
Our
this
bank
is on my
accounts
own
change.
stuff.
Oh,
Usually
not
these
share.
Yeah,
round
we are
numbers
looking
instead.
At my Dropbox.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
the new big fangled thing
This-
for the
this
last
stuff's
couple
not
months,
shared.
'cause it's working.
Automation
Yeah,
is
it is.
shared.
And,
Okay.
and we
So,
told them,
if
don't
you
ever
click
do
on the
that
share-
until you physically talk to the
What
person,
did I just do?
and you need to, if you're not sure if you're talking to the right person, you need to make sure.
We did
Click on
reporting all
file.
those into the
We send them to the
Website.
FBI.
I say, it was
I
ICW
use
three
one
or
code to
whatever,
know that
for
I'm
the
not
FBI
doing
to.
You click on the share, right?
Yeah.
And it should say
One of the
those are the
guys
three
that works
people
at the
that
FBI
that are
over
currently
off
room
Montgomery
settings.
knows me.
and
Yeah.
I think because you're the owner that
Oh,
you're
wow.
going to have to click on link settings and modify
I
who
don't
can
know that.
actually do
He
something.
knows you, but you don't know him.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought when I
I
sent you the
call
link,
him
that
probably
if we
twice,
forwarded
three
it,
times a
we would
week.
go
They wear
to the
cowboy
index.
boots.
It's specific for certain
Yeah, I did
Okay.
meet him, but
because
it's been like 3
basically you
years
don't
ago.
want everybody to screw around because these are all
I can't even
th-
remember.
these
the
files
cowboy
are on
guy,
this
but I
computer,
really like to
they're
talk
on
to
your
him.
computer,
I
they're
like him a lot.
Yeah.
He used to be in charge of the
Um,
cyber division for Cincinnati, but I think
Here's
Okay,
my
then it's
problem
probably the
legally.
same guy.
I see that you
4 or
have
5 of
access
them.
to
One just got
new
transferred
Dropbox.
Yeah.
last week, so
I know what I have access to.
so the
on this unit
pretty
home,
young people
but I
now.
don't know how to know
This guy's younger.
and somebody else has
I think
access.
it's in these settings, but I've never really
Talked to
shared
him
the
by Cincinnati
Dropbox with
Bell
anybody, so I'm a
about
little
cybercrime.
it's a little new to me too.
Okay, cause
Oh,
I thought it worked pretty good.
Well, it does. I mean,
the guy that went to Ronald Frames.
but if we need everybody's email address,
He's about
sharing a link,
did 40
yeah,
years
sharing a link is not going to be helpful.
Under 40.
And at this
Yeah,
point,
he was
unless we're gonna
32,
get
33
time
when I
on
met
it,
him.
it's just
That's
simply
been
sending
2 or
to
3 years ago.
what my email
Yeah.
address is attachment for that reason.
Yeah. Well, I saw
black hair.
I saw that
Dark hair.
Marcus isn't in the list of people either, so
And that may be because he
A
hasn't
few years
logged
ago,
into it.
the cyber guy, that
Maybe.
was 3.
Cause I did send that
One
to
of them
him,
was,
well, you saw that in the.
lady.
yeah.
I mean, she's a,
Yeah, I mean I know
but
I even emailed
She
him and
dresses
he
all
asked me for
weird.
your email address. I said,
kind of
ask for the Dropbox because it just makes things easier.
Yeah,
modern.
And I
No,
thought
she
I
wears
had
real
got it
bright
there.
stuff, but she,
But But I think whatever you do,
her and her,
I
the
think
person
you're going to
that
have to
apprenticed
be the one that
were
actually
an odd
changes
couple,
this.
but they were
And then when you
entertaining,
change it, just email me and tell me, and I
but
can
he
put
wore
a link.
cowboy boots, and he was like a
I
year or
will
so
attempt
from
to do it,
retirement
but
the
I'm
last
not
time I
sitting
talked to
on
him,
it.
because he was sick of all
If
the
you don't,
politics.
if you can't figure it out, it's not a big deal.
And then she was brand
And
new,
see, I
she'd
don't
only
know
been
how
here
log
for like a
into-
year and a half,
On your
just
machine, I
out of
don't know how to
Quantico.
log into
Okay.
it with
Well, then I would
without getting new stuff.
Right.
But, well, no, I mean, this is.
Well,
probably
if
4
you
years
logged
ago,
in,
that-
then
but
all
then
your
there was
stuff
only
would
3
start
years
syncing to my
Cincinnati.
computer, and we don't want that.
Now I've met 2 more
So you don't want
when I
that.
started
So
going
I
to
don't want to mess
forensics
with that.
meetings
No, I'm just
a couple months
saying,
ago, and the one,
on your machine right now, if you log out and I
the
log
guy
back
he's
in, I don't know
apprenticing,
how to log
it
in
might be him that
just
he's talking
to
with.
my Dropbox.
He's
Right.
kind of younger,
I'm with you.
but I
But
didn't think he's
see,
young
because
enough
I
to,
actually
like,
use the Dropbox app.
be in
I don't
charge
know.
per
Mhm.
se.
If I logged out, it logs me out of the
Well,
app,
there-
and then
I
when
mean,
you
there's
log
only
in,
like-
it logged you into the app, and then
But
everything
it
would
used to
start
only be
syncing.
3 for Cincinnati, so now, I mean, if he,
You
the
don't
other
wanna
guy
mess with that.
turned
You don't.
retired, and the other guy went to cyber.
I've done that
or went
once,
to
and that
violent
didn't-
crime, and it kind of leaves all those people under 30 in the
Yeah.
I think
queue
I've
of
discovered
being
what,
in charge, so
why you can't get to
really
the
kinda curious.
pictures. I think they have, Google has pulled a Microsoft.
Well, probably, but
And here's what I think has happened. Google offered to send me their, what do they call it? Office 365.
Oh, yeah.
They offered to send me that for
Yeah.
free.
Yeah.
And I said, no, I don't want to get involved. I already have these functions now. I did already have these functions now, but I don't anymore because they're helping me because they're going to offer the product, and they've taken all the half-ass tools they had.
And that's what they were, because they didn't.
They were
They're not very
well.
good, but they're cheaper than Office 365 by $1 a month, so
Well,
why wouldn't you come to us?
they're cheaper now?
Yeah, they're cheaper.
They were more expensive.
No, they're like $1 or $2 cheaper. My boss was going bonkers about. Well, I guess the guy before me has talked to him about switching to Google's version of Office 365.
I usually buy
never
two
heard that they
things
had
if
it. Then I got
they're
to
cheap
digging
enough.
into it a
Yeah.
couple weeks
How
ago,
much
and
was
I
this?
found some other
$21.
documents, and it's like, so they charge
Okay.
like $5 or $6 a month instead of $8, and for a base account.
It's got a camera module.
Now they've turned on
And
me.
a display
They've
module.
turned into, they're turning into
That's the
Microsoft.
board.
Yeah, well, that's, I don't know if you saw, they're changing their API
So it's
to block
a
plugins
Linux-based
for
machine?
ad
No.
blockers.
No.
I'll
Because
stop using Chrome.
They're rolling in their own ad blocker so that Google
It's a,
can pass Google ads through the
It's a
blocker.
Chinese chip.
Yeah. Nope.
So,
That would be the death
It
knell.
has
So
dual
you
core
can't even
RISC
select the
V
picture.
processors.
I cannot.
Okay.
When you click on it, it
And,
doesn't put a window around.
It does not.
Ah,
But
man.
more interesting, that
Those
part is
rocks
Because
irrelevant.
your editing.
The more interesting
he's just
part is that
able
it has
to use
a
the
neural
documents.
network
Okay.
accelerator
So you may be
That
able
is-
to download the document
and
then
an audio
edit it
processing unit
after.
to do some
I
good,
have
interesting things.
workarounds for
So,
password protected documents.
robot
where you-
projects.
where you save
I
them as a backup.
tried to use it
Learning
as a
robot
browser.
projects.
You can go around security.
I've only been able to survive about 48
Okay,
hours
different.
before I
So,
go,
see.
oh, hell with this.
That's where I bought them from. It took forever to get them.
Of
Yeah.
course.
So,
That is a
the paying for
microphone
that
array
Chrome's
that
gonna have to
that
get a lot
works
worse.
in
To
conjunction
force me
with
to
this.
another browser.
I've been
If
I've
I
been
have to look at
thinking
ads,
about buying
that's
this
the
board.
pain threshold.
I can still download the Windows, so
I haven't
I download
I have
the
a
whole
bit
file.
bulk. I don't like buying stuff from cities.
I have
Shipping's so damn
two
expensive.
pictures that I show
Yeah.
people when they ask me why I bother with
I
ad
ended up-
blockers.
I originally
And
needed
it's
one of these back in
doing a
February,
speed test.
and they were having supply
Speedtest.net.
issues.
This is in IE
And
without
early
ad blockers.
March,
This is in Chrome with them.
I
And
ordered
there's
Oh,
like
yeah.
this package of
30
things
ads
and
around
went
this
ahead and
thing,
paid
and
the
they're all
extra
wiggling and jumping and
$12
changing colors.
to switch to DHL instead of
Mm-hmm.
because it was like
Don't deal
$12
with that.
to go. That was the cheapest shipping, and then
That's why I
it
don't
was
run
24
AE
for
as a
DHL.
desktop. 'Cause
And
too
if you're
many
buying
things
enough,
wiggle.
it was like $100.
Yeah.
So
No.
But that's-
and it was worthwhile to me to get it in 3 days versus
When
a month.
when I look at seed, I usually only want one or two things, and it's like I don't know. So I make like a list, and it still kills me when I look at the shipping. It's like, God.
Okay, anything else we need to talk about on that?
These two folks have not seen the presentation. I don't know whether it's worth it, just telling them about it or.
It's 3 minutes. We can watch it again.
We gotta keep Mike awake for 3 more minutes. I
I
don't know.
can wait 3 minutes.
Okay.
Dun dun dun.
We need Star Wars introduction.
Yeah.
No, that's Odyssey.
I was thinking.
57.
57.
There we go. Like that.
We have earlier versions of this movie too.
Yeah, we don't need to see
My
that.
question is where's the TARDIS?
Where's the popcorn?
That's why it's a short video. Took me a long time to build that place.
Alexa, what did you buy for dinner today?
Before you came in, they were looking for some cheesecake. No? We got cupcakes. We had cupcakes.
Oh, I didn't even notice that you put my fake clock in there.
He's a sneaky rascal.
Yeah, it flashed by so fast I didn't even notice it. I've watched this a dozen times.
Well, it hadn't been in there the last dozen times.
Oh, okay.
Put it in there last night, but,
Yeah, you just snuck it in there just now, right?
a little earlier.
That's supposed to say no Play-Doh.
Excuse me?
That's supposed to represent no Play-Doh.
The
Breakboard.
Breakboard? No, not this kind of breakboard.
Dun dun dun.
Oh, I had thought about it more along the lines of not this kind of breadboard. This kind. And if you would like to have your photo included in sending a selfie or a snapshot or something like that, so we include it. There was a transfer lock, but I couldn't find anything else that I thought was relevant to you.
That's fine.
Put security stuff up there. He does that too.
Is it,
When do we lock it?
I guess I'm making this assumption here that that's roughly acceptable.
It looks good to me.
Looks good to me.
And we did evacuate, there's no magic smoke.
Oh, no.
We don't like magic smoke, actually. It's actually a bad thing. Yeah.
Is it? Oh.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
If you can give me a picture about putting that magic smoke back in the wires, there'll be a whole video about it.
At least. At least one.
Thank you, folks. I appreciate it. I apologize. I'm pooping.
All right, thanks.
Thank you
Good
very
job,
much.
man.
We'll see you later.
Okay.
Appreciate the good work.
Get some sleep.
Very politically adept. He's good.
You wanna talk about your stuff?
What do you got?
I got stuff that it's all pretty much old stuff that I thought would be good for the Maker Faire, so it doesn't really need to be overhashed again.
Okay.
And if we got time, we can do something.
Well, I finally got a batch of toys I've been waiting for from Seed Studio. I'll go with the more ho-hum one first. They have a new Arduino, compatible-ish board. Pass it around. It's based on the Atmega SAM D21, which is one of the Cortex, ARM Cortex M0 pluses. It's actually the same CPU they use on the Arduino Zero. It's supported by the ID and all that stuff.
It's got growth connectors on it.
Yeah, and it's because it's seed. It's from seed. It's got growth connectors all over it. The processor has 256K of flash and 32K of RAM, and it's got 14 digital input outputs. 10 of them can be PWM. 6 analog input outputs. 3 serial interfaces. It also has, they put in a LiPo battery power management chip. So you can run it off a LiPo and you can charge the LiPo from the USB connector.
What'd that one run?
So the main interest to me was the fact it's $10.
Oh, yeah.
It's a pretty powerful board for $10. And so I got a couple to play with for whatever. Just Arduino replacements. Yeah, usually when if I buy boards like this, if they're cheap enough, I'll get 2 in case I blow one.
I was watching the guy's video yesterday, and he says he always buys things in 3. 1 to work with, 1 to lose one, and 1 for parts.
So yeah, it's just, there's nothing too exciting about it other than the price. It's
That's cool.
pretty reasonably priced.
It's very reasonably priced. I think that board, the Arduino, the official Arduino was like $30 or something, wasn't it?
I can't believe they still try to sell it for that price.
I think Parallax is still like 80 or something. If they're still out there.
Yeah, Parallax is still around.
Yeah, so I haven't
I don't know what they're doing these days, but
The same stuff that they were doing before.
yeah.
I was gonna say they haven't gotten any cheaper from when I saw when I looked
No.
at it back, but
No, in some ways they've gotten more expensive.
that's what I figured. There's many competitors out there now. I thought they'd come down a bit.
That's pretty nice. $10.
Yeah.
But we're back to that shipping thing again.
Yeah, it's well, at some point they have a U.S. warehouse now, and I don't know, it might have been available from the U.S. warehouse, but this stuff wasn't. So
I actually lately I've been looking on Seed's website and then going to eBay and looking up the exact same thing and buying it from eBay because the shipping is so much more reasonable.
Right.
People that already have them.
Or it even comes from Seed. It just, instead of
Yeah.
being 3 days shipping, it's a month shipping, and I don't really care. It's most of this stuff I don't need in 3 days, because if you go to their website, you pretty much have to buy the expensive shipping that.
Yeah, the cheapest shipping they have is like $12. And it's the slow boat. So I don't know why the price has gone up unless the Chinese is subsidizing the shipping, which apparently they were doing for a while.
Well, they did it as much as we're charging them now.
Yeah.
If you look on eBay, you might find the exact same board for like $1 more, but $2 shipping instead of $12 shipping.
Yeah.
So you still end up saving money.
Well, that's the thing is people have surplus over here already.
So the other stuff is a little more interesting. I've been watching this chip for a while, and I mean it's not a while isn't very long because it only came out like September last year. but it's it's made by a company called Kendrite, and then there's another company called IPED that makes development board using the chip. And I got two of them. This one, camera and display attached. It's a dual core RISC-V processor, which is the open source is becoming more popular. Western Digital apparently is using it, and they're going to switch to it because it's open source, it's free, so they don't have to pay royalty like they do to ARM. These guys, I think, use it again because it's free. I'm not that interested in the CPU side of it. It could be ARM, I don't really care. The more interesting part is it's got a neural network accelerator. And it has an APU, an audio processing unit. So it can do stuff like, I think it can do some voice recognition. This is a multi-mic board that works with it. The APU can support like 8 microphones. I think that has 6 on it.
What's that called again? I have a buddy that's good.
But the, like I said, for me, the most interesting thing is the KPU, which is the neural network accelerator. And it can do, it can run a fair number of small neural network models, pre-trained, like all these, I don't know if you're familiar with the Intel neural network stick.
Mm-hmm.
It uses the Movidius, one of the Movidius chips. Oh yeah, and so this thing's pretty cheap at $20. Now, if you don't want the camera or the display, it's only $13. And then if you want a module to integrate into your own stuff, it's like $8.
That is freaking cheap.
Except they're out of stock.
Yeah, well, that's part of the reason it took so long to get it, because they keep
Getting
selling
stock,
out of it.
Yeah. Hot item leaves the shelf.
So you can run object recognition networks, face recognition networks.
You know they're doing some of that with the ESP32 now.
Yeah, you could. There's something called TensorFlow Lite,
Yeah.
which it can run on pretty much anything, any microcontroller. It's just a matter of how fast it runs. This thing has hardware that will accelerate
it, yeah.
to a quarter of a tera op at its default 400 megahertz speed, but you can upclock it to 800 megahertz and get half a tera op. So we can run these object detection things at 30, 60 frames per second, real time. And it's relatively low power. They're claiming at the 400 megahertz, the 0.25 tops is 0.3 watts, which is pretty low. So you can run it off a battery. Whereas like the neural compute sticks use up a lot more power, but they're also a lot faster.
Well, I was looking at Google's offering something now too. It's got the neural processor.
Yeah, that's the Coral, Coral, Coral. They call theirs a TPU,
Yeah, TPM.
tensor processing unit. It's a lot. I mean, it's a lot faster than this thing, but it uses a lot more power too.
It's a little bit more expensive.
And it's the stick is $75.
Yeah.
Seed is selling them.
The one they've got one that plugs into the Raspberry Pi though. That I thought was cheaper.
No, not the Google stuff. They have their own Raspberry Pi Lite development board that's 150.
Okay.
So I think, let's see if this works. I just got it earlier this week, and I tried loading one of the neural network models for face detection.
What is beamforming? Any idea?
Beamforming.
Yeah.
It can, with software, it can detect where the sound is coming from.
Okay.
It's the opposite of like a beamforming radar that sends out. Well, it does both. They send, by varying the phase of the signals in an array of transducers, you can make the beam movable.
Okay.
And then you can also, when you listen, you can figure out where it's coming from based on the phases of the different signals.
Alexa uses it.
Yes.
When the blue circle moves around to where it thinks you're talking from, that's what its thing is.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's why this thing has LEDs around the edge. It's kind of like, you know, an Alexa speaker module. And so it'll, I believe, I haven't tried it yet, it'll light up.
They're probably programmable, aren't they?
Oh yeah, it's all software. I mean, this thing's just a bunch of microphones and LEDs that connect to the.
Is somebody doing these things to do like a sonar?
Oh yeah, that's been done. I mean, this is old technology. The military's been using it forever.
It'd be great to detect, you hear noise and we don't know where it came from. It'd be really nice for that.
There's a kid, Aaron, that comes to the security meetings on Thursday or whatever over in Sharonville. He has built a bunch of microphone sensors to detect dog barking, so to distinguish. Well, first was to make sure whether it was a dog in his apartment or one of the other 3 dogs in the apartment complex, and they build it around a token ring network between all the sensors, so that he can figure out when his dog barks to turn on the light or the TV so his dog will calm down when he's not there, so it won't disturb the neighbors. I thought that was kind of slick, but then he's got the one little catch he figured out is like token ring was, there was something wrong with token ring, he had to redo the thing, but now he can't tell if the dog runs up to the window and barks at the window, is it his dog or the dog outside, right?
It seems like you have to be closer for
Because
it.
there's not enough
Yeah,
time
it's kind of
differential.
recognizing you, all upside down and everything.
Yeah, it's hard to display that.
So he's working on like a recognition
They
for,
could probably also listen in for like the ring of the glass to
with another
to help
sensor.
with whether or not it's outside or not.
Yeah.
Or you figure if that dog outside is barking, it's going to bother him anyway.
Yeah.
So just
Well, that's the thing. He doesn't want the lights and stuff to trigger if it's the outside dog or the dog next door, you know, in the apartment. But that's what he said. I guess he stepped on one of the things, so he lost one of the sensors. So then I can't distinguish whether it's indoor or outdoor. But it was a very interesting project, and I thought for what he'd done. Because, like I said, now he's working on being able to identify which dog's barking in the system, so he can tell whether it's his dog or, you know, the lab outdoor or the Pikachu thing or whatever next door, or the, you know, writing software to tell which dog breed it is.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's kind of slick.
Should have voice recognition, which dog.
Well, that's essentially what he's doing now. And then he doesn't need to know.
See in your face.
Yeah, doesn't need to know anything, so.
What is this?
That is
Good.
good.
I was a pretty interesting little project for somebody that's, you know, I would try to get him to come in, show it off.
Yeah.
So I'm looking up
Those array mics like that.
Mhm.
Those used to be really expensive.
Well, that's what I was.
yeah, this thing's like $12 or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, they used to be like a mic like that would have cost like $400, and that was just a few years ago.
Okay.
And that's what I was thinking, is like, he probably would really like that, because he basically, instead of having the ring, he physically built each different thing, or each sensor to
Well,
figure out.
just like most technology, it comes down in price, but that's like
Yeah.
insanely
I was gonna say,
cheap.
you got more than that, just in, you know.
That's insanely cheap. I mean, you'll pay that much just for the NeoPixels.
Yeah.
I don't know how far they progressed, but I know about 4 years ago in DC, they had microphones on all the cell phone towers. And they could identify
Gunshots,
what
right?
kind, gunshots. They could identify what kind of round, get a good guess on what the firearm was, and certainly whether it was a pistol or rifle, automatic or revolver,
And where it was at.
where it was at, and they had that down to about a 10-foot circle
Yep.
for where it was at. They did still have issues if you fired one in a building, because they'd get echoes off of other stuff, but if it was outside, you're screwed.
This would be a good system for our baby monitor. We're monitoring the birds in the neighborhood. But like today, I heard someone chopping down a tree or something, and I said, "Oh, I wonder where that's coming from." It'd be nice
Yeah.
to have a little indicator,
That away.
noise coming from these directions. That would be really nice.
My Alexa, the little one, the dot, if it's sitting on my bedroom stand, it has a problem with echo. I guess it bounces off the wall, and it almost always says that I am standing at the wall, which I am almost always not standing at the wall.
Would you ask it, where am I?
Oh, I just watch the lights, and it's almost always the light is against the wall. I was
Okay.
like, nope, that's not where I'm in, but it's got to be an echo off of.
Yeah. If you put something soft behind it,
I don't know.
that'd kill that.
I
What did you
don't
bring
really
in today,
use
Mike?
the
You bring
Alexa
I
mic.
just got this.
I
Oh,
use
yeah.
it just to play with
That's
it,
the Netgear. I've got one.
but
I just
I
got
like
it
I like
right before I got
I like my Google Home
Mine's a little
more
bit
than I like the
different.
Alexa.
But
How
mine,
sensitive are those mics?
Netgear,
they're
I've got a
pretty
Netgear,
sensitive.
really nice.
My-
So you just
I've got a Google Home in another room,
scan that in
and
go to
doors closed and everything, and I hear it go off all the time.
It's
If
been a
I
while
say, "Hey
since I
Google,"
set one up.
I'm
You've
gonna
got-
work at it.
go yeah.
What you do is you boot it up,
That surprises
and you
me.
connect
They're-
to it,
I haven't really played
with your
mics
Wi-Fi.
for years.
Yeah.
and it tells you what it looked like
I mean, I used to
with your
have
phone.
a shotgun mic that
Yeah.
And
you could pick up a conversation.
Well, I played with it a
200
little bit, and
feet.
I got the two
Well,
lights on, and then I moved it, and I couldn't get the
I
router
mean,
light.
the interesting thing is
I pressed the
it
Wi-Fi
hears it
button
through
when it was
doors
closed.
being closed, so
Okay,
So I can-
you've logged into
and
it,
it
and you
actually
set it up.
responds. Now the
No,
one
I
in the
didn't.
other
I
room,
have to
the one in
download
the room
this.
that I'm actually in usually responds before the one
Now, you know,
in the living room
you
responds.
just,
but
you turn this
Okay.
on, initialize it.
but they both
Well, mine
respond,
does.
doesn't
You turn it on, you initialize it,
Yeah.
you just turn it
it?
on, and then you go to your phone and you find Wi-Fi signals,
Okay,
I've
I
noticed
didn't
with
do
And
my
you'll see
Google
that.
Home, I've got four
and
of
you
them in
connect
one
to it,
room
it'll tell you what
because I'm
password
insane.
you use.
Okay.
But
And then you set it up.
if I
and
ask,
say, go look
if I
at this
ask
router.
the time,
It's
Mhm.
pretty simple. What do you want to
the
list it
clock
as? You can list
almost
it as the
always
same.
responds.
I initialized it, and I
I've
got the
got
lights,
one
but I
that's
didn't
built
pull my
into a
phone
clock,
out to get the Wi-Fi
and
signal.
that's
Yeah.
what
And you gotta
usually
tell it
responds
how to
if I
connect
ask
to
what
the other
time
one.
it is.
And sometimes
Unless
you
I am
have
sitting
to
right
put a
on top
name
of
on that
one of the other
Mine's
ones.
different from the other one.
You just go into your settings in your
Which
phone.
I find very interesting.
Just go
because
into your
it's like,
Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
I
okay.
got you.
The
I
clock
haven't
should
done
know
it
what
yet.
time it is. Sure.
I got
Well, it's pretty good.
So,
He's got the Netgear extender. I've got the Netgear. It's problemless. And it needs to be halfway between your
Well,
router and where you want
at first
to
they
listen.
wanted me to plug it in right next to the router in the same room, then move it after it got the,
Okay, it'll automatically find it. But you still got to give it the password.
yeah. Once you get the YPS, you can unplug it and move it.
Oh, okay.
But they want you in the same room while you're first initializing it.
Oh, okay. It may be more automatic than mine.
But I didn't have time to get my phone. I didn't get my phone out and look for the signal.
It's got to figure out the password somehow. You can
Yeah.
maybe push the button on the router. Maybe that's what they want you
Yeah.
to do.
It's in the preamble said that you can pull that off the signal probably.
Yeah.
So I packed it up and I thought I should bring it in and show you. That's why I was late. I got it engrossed. Lost track of time.
Wi-Fi 3 rolls out in 6 months.
I was at my group. The guy had a T-shirt on. I don't have no Reds paraphernalia. You can get a free cheese coney today, and you get a free
Wi-Fi,
3.
Chick-fil-A sandwich.
This is Wi-Fi 2.
Is that why you got your shirt on?
No, I like wearing
WPA3, I
t-shirts,
guess.
Yeah.
and work lets you
So
wear t-shirts if it's got
All
red
of the
stuff.
Wi-Fi
Oh,
signals
okay,
in the
yeah.
crack
Oh, so now you can have dinner.
as of about
Yeah.
2 months ago.
You have to buy a
So
drink, but I
accelerating.
think you have to buy a drink, but you get a free cheese coney and a
For a
free.
year, was it WPA3 or whatever,
I like it.
which will
Yeah.
replace
I've got a
all
lot
the
more
Wi-Fi
playing to do.
devices because
I just got it.
I've been looking at a couple of different. I didn't realize the
They're
Google
getting
one was
rid
that
of.
expensive.
Here's
though.
a note.
Well, it's-
They're dumping
it's,
2G.
Oh yeah,
They're
it's
dumping 2G.
most of it's gone.
You know why they're dumping 2G? You know how that affects you? It affects me. Because my new security system is 2G.
So you're gonna have a white elephant security system.
I'm gonna have a white elephant.
The
But
other ones
They're
are
just
better.
dropping it.
But your
more
the
expensive.
SMSs that it probably
I've
uses
really been
should
looking at.
continue to work.
Yeah.
It's only for
There's a
data.
couple of,
I think probably doesn't use 2G data.
That's an ESP32
It
camera.
it will talk to
And
you.
there's a couple of them
And you
that
can't
already
use it
are
as a
loaded
phone.
with models and stuff.
So the
but
phone
I've been looking
probably
at them.
won't
They're-
work.
They're around $20.
I don't know. I would expect it to work.
So
2G?
Yeah,
Locally.
they're making changes to data capacity, not to the basic cell phone voice setup. That's not coming from an area of knowledge.
It's my understanding they want the frequencies for other things.
Is that right?
It looked like there's some people trying to slip some stuff in for businesses, but it looks like it might be different to allow very low throughput communications for people who are using, what do they call it? P2P or whatever it is.
End to end.
Head to head.
M to M.
M to M. But it's gonna be
T-Mobile,
different.
pretty much everybody has dropped it already except for T-Mobile. They were keeping theirs running for a while. Yeah, because that really affects if you're doing IoT type stuff and you want to use cellular. All the cheap cellular stuff is 2G and it doesn't work anymore. And you can't even rely on 3G because I think they're going to get rid of that too. They want everybody to switch to what's it called? It's 4G based.
Yeah, I could go out and buy another $4 million tractor so I can keep track of where my stuff's at.
Yes, T-Mobile has committed to support 2G until 2020,
Which is
which isn't very far away. This was in 2018.